Namaskar and very good morning to all. It is with great pleasure and pride that I welcome you all to the day two of two-day online international conference on digital dynamics, global trends and challenges, organized by Writers Reservoir India in collaboration with quarterly bilingual media journal Communication Today. Let us now seek the blessings of Ma Saraswati, the goddess of wisdom, learning and knowledge through a soulful Saraswati Vandana by Dr. Ruchi Goswami.
नमस्कार। आज के दिन की शुरुआत माँ सरस्वती के श्लोक से। या कुंदेन्दु तुषार हर धवला या शुभ्र वस्त्रावता या वीणावरदण्ड मंडित करा या श्वेत पद्मासना या ब्रह्माच्युत शंकर प्रपति विदेवी सदा वंदिता सा मां पातु सरस्वती भगवती निशेष जड्यापहा। नमस्कार।
May the divine light of Saraswati continues to illuminate our path and inspire us on this academic journey. As we gather this morning for a special panel discussion, we look forward to a thought-provoking and enriching session focused on digital transformations, shaping our world across disciplines. It is our honor to welcome our esteemed panelists whose contributions reflect both academic excellence and practical wisdom. I take this opportunity to extend a warm welcome to our panelists. Professor Harish Kumar Sir, Head, Department of Journalism and Mass Communication, Maharishi Dayanand University, Rohtak. Professor Rakesh Goswami Sir, Head, English Journalism, Institute of Mass Communication, Delhi. Professor DJ Pati Sir, Senior Media and Communication Consultant Advisor, CMART. Professor Manish Verma Sir, School of Creative Media, Bahrain Bahrain Kingdom of Bahrain. And Professor Sheel Nidhi Tripathi, Professor JMC, Bharatiya Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, New Delhi. We are also privileged to have with us Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat Sir, Chief Patron of the conference. Each of our speakers brings a unique lens of the conversation, from pedagogy to media ethics to global communication strategies. And we are excited for the exchange of ideas that awaits. I would also like to extend my heartfelt thanks to Dr. Ruchi Goswami, conference convener, Dr. Aditi Parikh, organizing secretary, and the entire organizing team of this dedicated and efforts in making this conference a success. Writers Reservoir India, it is a vibrant platform that brings together writers, researchers, academicians, and media professionals from across the India and beyond. It encourages interdisciplinary dialogue through webinars, conference, and critical dialogues. Communication Today, established by Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat Sir, is a reputed bilingual media journal with a legacy of 28 years. It publishes peer-reviewed research, critical articles, and book reviews in media studies, journalism, public relations, advertising, and digital communication. The journal has earned national recognition, including the Golden Award from the Public Relations Council of India, and become a guiding light for media educators, scholars, and practitioners. Its landmark webinar series during the COVID-19 era engaged over 400 experts in 160+ sessions. I take this opportunity to acknowledge and express our heartfelt appreciation to our esteemed dignitaries and panelists who have joined us today. Please join me in extending a virtual round of applause as we Our warm felicitation to our invited speakers and contributions for their presence and continued support. I welcome you all. To provide a deeper insight into the core theme of this panel discussion, we are honored to invite Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat, sir, Chief Patron of the conference, to present the overview of today's panel discussion.
बहुत बहुत आभार डॉक्टर आस्था सक्सेना। आज के हमारे इस पैनल डिस्कशन के हमारे साथी पैनलिस्ट प्रोफेसर राकेश गोस्वामी जो ज्वाइन कर चुके हैं और जो शेष हमारे एक्सपर्ट्स हैं, मुझे लगता है वो शीघ्र ही ज्वाइन करेंगे। जैसा हरीश कुमार जी ने ज्वाइन कर लिया है, प्रोफेसर हरीश कुमार हमारे साथ आ गए हैं और डॉक्टर डीजे पति और प्रोफेसर मनीष उम्मीद है कि शीघ्र ज्वाइन करेंगे। जैसा कि आपका विदित है, पिछले 2 दिन से आज दूसरा दिन है, हम लोग चर्चा कर रहे हैं आज के इस दौर में किस तरह से डिजिटल माध्यम हमारे जीवन के अलग अलग परिदृश्य को प्रभावित कर रहे हैं। और पैनल डिस्कशन भी उसी क्रम में एक महत्वपूर्ण और संवेदनशील विषय है कि किस तरह से मानवीय मूल्य इस डिजिटल दौर में प्रभावित हो रहे हैं। हम बहुत कुछ पाने की होड़ में क्या कुछ खोते जा रहे हैं, कुछ इन्हीं मुद्दों को लेकर के यह संवाद आयोजित किया गया है। जैसा कि हम बार बार कहते हैं कि 21वीं सदी तकनीक और डिजिटल नवाचारों की सदी है। इसमें कोई अतिशयोक्ति नहीं है, चाहे कृत्रिम बौद्धिकता की बात हो या थिंग्स ऑफ इंटरनेट IoT की हम बात करते हैं, ये बिग डेटा की हम बात करते हैं, तो किस तरह से इस तकनीक ने हमारे समाज, शासन, शिक्षा, स्वास्थ्य और रोजगार के स्वरूप को पूरी तरह से बदल दिया है। लेकिन इस परिवर्तनशील युग में, दौर में एक प्रश्न उठता है कि क्या यह डिजिटल परिवर्तन वास्तव में समाजवेशी है या हम बहुत कुछ पीछे छोड़ते जा रहे हैं। डिजिटल तकनीक ने मानव जीवन को अनेक अभूतपूर्व अवसर दिए हैं। सरकारी सेवाएं ऑनलाइन हो चुकी हैं, बैंकिंग सिस्टम मोबाइल पर उपलब्ध है, शिक्षा घर बैठे दी जा रही है और स्वास्थ्य सेवाओं में टेलीमेडिसिन का तेजी से विस्तार हो रहा है। कोविड के दौर ने जिस तरह से डिजिटल माध्यमों को शिक्षा और स्वास्थ्य के साथ जोड़े रखा, इस बात से हम सब परिचित हैं। आज गांव-गांव में इंटरनेट की पहुंच हो रही है। निश्चय ही सूचनाओं के लोकतांत्रिकरण की दिशा में यह एक प्रभावी कदम है, हालांकि अभी हमें लंबी छलांग लगानी है। डिजिटलाइजेशन ने हमारी जो प्रशासनिक प्रक्रिया है उसको पारदर्शी और जवाबदेह बनाया है। मीडिया के माध्यम से, सोशल मीडिया के या डिजिटल मीडिया के माध्यम से आज आम आदमी की पहुंच बड़े बड़े मंचों तक पहुंच गई है। आज वो इन मंचों के माध्यम से देश के प्रधानमंत्री से लेकर के प्रदेश के मुख्यमंत्री तक को क्वेश्चन कर सकता है, उस पर सवाल उठा सकता है, अपनी बात कह सकने के लिए सक्षम है। जहां डिजिटल परिवर्तन ने अनेक संभावनाएं हमारे सामने प्रस्फुटित की हैं, वहीं डिजिटल डिवाइड या डिजिटल खाई जो है इसको भी उजागर किया है। यह खाई तकनीकी पहुंच, ज्ञान, भाषा, आय, इनकम और भूगोल के आधार पर समाज में कहीं असमानता भी पैदा कर रही है। देश के अनेक हिस्सों में विश्वसनीय इंटरनेट एक चुनौती बना हुआ है। स्मार्ट डिवाइसेस या बिजली की सुविधा वहां तक नहीं पहुंची है। विशेष रूप से ग्रामीण और आदिवासी क्षेत्रों में भी वो उस डिजिटल पहुंच से वंचित हैं। आज भी हम कई शहरों में, कई कॉर्नर्स में इस बात को महसूस करते हैं कि वहां जो नेटवर्क है उसकी समस्या अभी तक बनी हुई है। डिजिटल लिटरेसी की बात आज बार बार की जा रही है कि डिजिटल लिटरेट समाज ही हमें कई तरह की जो चुनौतियां हैं साइबर क्राइम्स हैं, साइबर फ्रॉड्स हैं, उनसे बचा सकता है। इसको लेकर के जगह जगह कार्यशालाएं आयोजित की जा रही हैं। स्कूल और विश्वविद्यालयों में, शैक्षणिक संस्थानों में इस तरह के कोर्सेज लागू किए जा रहे हैं और इस तरह के जो हमारे अकादमिक मंच हैं वहां इस बात की पुरजोर मांग उठाई जा रही है कि डिजिटल प्रभावी कदम उठाए जाएं और आज देश दुनिया में वैश्विक रूप से इस और जो हमारे शिक्षा शास्त्री हैं, समाज वैज्ञानिक हैं, वो कहीं सजग और सचेत हुए हैं। डिजिटल साक्षरता की ये कमी, तकनीकी संसाधन होने के बावजूद जो व्यक्ति इसका उपयोग करना नहीं जानता है, उसके लिए एक तरह से वो डिजिटल बहिष्कृत के रूप में ही है। अनेक ऐसे बुजुर्ग आज भी मोबाइल जैसी डिवाइस का प्रभावशाली उपयोग नहीं कर पाते हैं। अल्प शिक्षित वर्ग में ये डिजिटल साक्षरता अभी कोसों दूर है, तो अभी हमें बहुत लंबी लड़ाई लड़नी है। इसी तरह से अभी तक हालांकि क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं को संरक्षण और प्रश्रय मिलने लगा है, लेकिन फिर भी अधिकतर ऐप्स और उसका जो लैंग्वेज है वो अंग्रेजी भाषा की प्रधानता से जुड़ा हुआ है। तो अंग्रेजी भाषा की प्राधान्यता, उसका असर इस देश की बहुभाषी जो जनसंख्या है, बहुभाषी जो जनता है, उस पर भी कहीं ना कहीं उसका असर पड़ता है। स्मार्टफोन, डेटा और डिजिटल सेवाएं आज भी क्या इस देश के गरीब और वंचित वर्गों तक प्रभावी ढंग से पहुंच पा रही है, इस बात पर भी हमें चिंतन करना पड़ेगा। डिजिटल परिवर्तन के साथ अक्सर यह बहस होती है कि मानवीय मूल्यों का किस तरह से क्षरण हो रहा है। हालांकि कल भी हमने इस बात को रेखांकित किया था, हमारे अनेक वक्ताओं ने इस बात को रेखांकित किया था कि नई तकनीक के साथ इन चुनौतियों पर अक्सर चर्चा होती है। जब हम विद्यालय में पढ़ते थे तब विज्ञान अभिशाप या वरदान इन विषयों पर निबंध लिखे जाते थे और प्रकारांतर से आज भी वही सब मुद्दे हमारे सामने जीवंत हैं। लेकिन अब जिस तरह से डिजिटलाइजेशन आम आदमी तक पहुंचा है, तो उस दौड़ में जिस तरह से सहिष्णुता की कमी आई है, करुणा का भाव विलुप्त हो रहा है, पारदर्शिता, निजता और नैतिकता से जैसे मूल्यों पर कहीं प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़े हो रहे हैं। मुझे लगता है ये बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं जिन पर हमें विचार करना होगा। डिजिटल युग में व्यक्ति की जो व्यक्तिगत डेटा वो एक वस्तु के रूप में हो गया है। आप जहां जाते हैं आपके मोबाइल नंबर के माध्यम से उन डेटा को सुरक्षित संरक्षित किया जाता है। हमारे देश में आधार का डेटा जिस तरह से लीक होने के समाचार मिले थे, उसने कई प्रश्न चिन्ह खड़े किए हैं। कई बार ऐसे समाचार हमें सुनने को, पढ़ने को मिलते हैं कि किस तरह से हमारे डेटा पर सेंध लगाई गई है या सरकारी तंत्र में जो डेटा सुरक्षित किया गया है वो भी निजी कंपनियों या निजी हाथों में पहुंच गया है। डेटा संबंधी अधिनियम अभी भी उतने प्रभावशाली नहीं हो पा रहे हैं या अभी भी वो विचार की अवस्था में है कि जो इनका उल्लंघन करेगा उन्हें किस तरह से दंडित किया जा सकेगा। तो मुझे लगता है कि ये जो ऑटोमेशन की दुनिया है, इसमें कहीं मानवीय संस्पर्श की कमी है। वो संवेदना और सहानुभूति जैसे तत्व, हालांकि प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं ऐसे रोबोट विकसित करने के कि वे भी कहीं संवेदना के साथ जुड़ सके, आपके साथ संवाद कर सके, लेकिन मनुष्य मनुष्य के बीच जो भावाभिव्यक्ति है, मनुष्य मनुष्य के बीच जो संचार है, उसकी जगह या स्थान मशीनें ले लेंगी। इस कल्पना मात्र से ही कहीं रूह कांपने लगती है कि कौन सी दुनिया में हम प्रवेश करने की तैयारी कर रहे हैं। एक बीमार व्यक्ति जो अपने परिजनों के साथ सांत्वना का भाव महसूस करता है, संवेदना का भाव महसूस करता है, शायद वो उन रोबोटिक दुनिया के साथ वो चीज महसूस नहीं कर पाएगा। लेकिन जब यही सब कुछ होगा तो मजबूरी में उसे उसी दुनिया में जीने के लिए बाध्य होना पड़ेगा। अस्पतालों, स्कूलों और काउंसलिंग सेवाओं में मशीनों की भूमिका बढ़ती चली जा रही है। मानवीय भावनाएं, मानवीय स्पर्श का जिस तरह से क्षरण हो रहा है, उसने कहीं न कहीं हमारे मन में एक चिंता या व्यग्रता का भाव पैदा कर दिया है कि हम किस तरह से इस भविष्य को संभाल पाएंगे। एआई और एल्गोरिदम आधारित निर्णयों ने अनेक नैतिक दुविधाएं हमारे सामने उत्पन्न कर दी हैं। उदाहरण के लिए, यदि आप एआई के आधार पर यह तय करने लगेंगे कि किसे नौकरी दी जाए, किस अपराधी को जमानत दी जाए, किसे जमानत न दी जाए, जब मानवीय विवेक विलुप्त हो जाएगा, जब निर्णय मशीनें करने लगेंगी, तो उस मानवीय विवेक की महत्ता कितनी रह जाएगी, हम उसे मानवीय विवेक की कसौटी पर कितना कस पाएंगे। सोशल मीडिया प्लेटफॉर्म्स पर जिस तेजी के साथ घृणा का भाव फैलाया जा रहा है, ट्रोल किया जा रहा है, भ्रामक सूचनाएं प्रसारित की जा रही हैं, अफवाहों को बल दिया जा रहा है, वो सब उन मानवीय मूल्यों के क्षरण के प्रतीक है मेरी दृष्टि में। अब प्रश्न केवल तकनीकी पहुंच का नहीं है, बल्कि समान अवसर, सम्मानजनक भागीदारी और समावेशी विकास का है। महिलाएं, विशेषकर ग्रामीण और अशिक्षित, इस डिजिटल परिवर्तन की मुख्य धारा से वंचित हैं। विकलांग जन, जिन्हें अभी तक वो तकनीक का उस तरह से लाभ नहीं हुआ है, हालांकि आए दिन खबरें आ रही हैं। अभी कल परसों ही मैंने पढ़ा था कि वैसे स्टिक बनाई जा रही है उस एआई का प्रयोग करके कि वो जो दिव्य दृष्टि के व्यक्ति हैं उन्हें किस तरह से उसका लाभ मिल सकता है। प्रयास किए जा रहे हैं, लेकिन उस तकनीक का उपयोग वो किस तरह से कर पाएंगे, ये भी आने वाले समय में हमारे सामने एक मुख्य प्रश्न रहेगा। जैसा मैंने शुरू में कहा कि बुजुर्ग इससे कितना फ्रेंडली हो पाते हैं। हालांकि ये सब तकनीक बहुत ज्यादा यूजर फ्रेंडली है, लेकिन फिर भी आज हम बहुत सारे ऐसे सीनियर सिटीजन्स को देखते हैं। कई बार तो मैं वेबिनार्स में देखता हूं कि जो सीनियर व्यक्ति आते हैं वो उन छोटी मोटी तकनीकों के लिए उन बच्चों को आवाज देकर कहते हैं कि इसको ठीक करो। तो इसका मतलब बुजुर्ग अभी तक उतने फ्रेंडली उन चीजों से नहीं हो पाए हैं। अल्पसंख्यक और आदिवासी समूह जो डिजिटीकरण की योजनाओं से और उनकी आवश्यकताओं से अभी तक इतने घुले मिले नहीं हैं, और न ही उनकी आवाज को एक प्रभावी मंच हम दे पाए हैं। छोटे व्यवसाय और रोजगार वालों की अपनी चुनौतियां हैं। जब इस तरह से बड़ी बड़ी कंपनियां आ गई हैं और वो कंपनियां इस मशीन आधारित या एआई आधारित मंचों के माध्यम से जब व्यापार करेंगी, तो क्या हम उन छोटे व्यवसाय वालों को या स्वरोजगार वालों को उस मुख्य धारा के साथ या उस ई कॉमर्स की दुनिया के साथ क्या उन्हें उस वैश्विक प्रतिस्पर्धा में हम खड़ा रख पाएंगे? मुझे लगता है ये एक और चुनौती है। चुनौतियां होंगी, लेकिन आवश्यकता है उन चुनौतियों के समाधान की ओर हम आगे बढ़ें, ताकि डिजिटल परिवर्तन को एक समावेशी, मानवीय और नैतिक आधार पर हम कहीं उन तक पहुंचा पाए। डिजिटल साक्षरता की बात मैंने की, वो समय की आवश्यकता है। स्थानीय भाषाओं में, क्षेत्रीय भाषाओं में हालांकि विपुल सामग्री तैयार की जा रही है, लेकिन उस दिशा में भी और अधिक काम करने की आवश्यकता है। डेटा संरक्षण संबंधी कानूनों का निर्माण और उसकी सख्ती से क्रियान्विति, ये हमारी दूसरी चुनौती है। और एआई के साथ जो हम एथिकल एआई की बात करते हैं, उस पर विचार किया जाना चाहिए या उसको प्रभावी ढंग से क्रियान्वित करने की जो योजनाएं हैं वो बनाई जानी चाहिए। डिजिटल परिवर्तन न तो अच्छा है न बुरा है, यह एक उपकरण मात्र है जिसका परिणाम इस बात पर निर्भर करता है कि हम इसका उपयोग किस तरह से करते हैं। यदि इस परिवर्तन को ध्यान में रखते हुए समाज के कुछ वर्ग उस धारा में बह जाते हैं, तो मुझे लगता है ये विकास नहीं, विसंगति है। इसलिए इस उपकरण का प्रभावी ढंग से उपयोग करने के लिए, क्योंकि कल भी ये बात आई थी कि हम पीछे नहीं लौट सकते, बैलगाड़ी के युग में नहीं लौट सकते, हमें इसे अंगीकार करना पड़ेगा, हमें इसे स्वीकार करना पड़ेगा, और इसी में हमें भावी व्यू रचना या दिशा जो है वो तैयार करनी पड़ेगी। तकनीकी तरक्की तभी सार्थक होगी जब वह हर व्यक्ति के हाथ में हो, हर समाज की पहुंच में हो और हर जीवन के मान और सम्मान के साथ उसमें प्रवेश करे। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं उम्मीद करता हूं कि जो हमारे आज के चारों विशेषज्ञ हैं, जो प्रोफेशन के साथ सक्रियता से जुड़े रहे और टीचिंग के साथ सक्रियता से जुड़े हुए हैं, तो एक जो उनका एक वैविध्य, डाइवर्सिफाइड जो एक्सपीरियंस है अपने प्रोफेशन का, उसके माध्यम से मुझे लगता है कि इस नई तकनीक का, क्योंकि हमारे इस एक्सपर्ट का जो पैनल है उसमें कुछ मित्र ऐसे भी हैं जो इसी दुनिया में जी रहे हैं, इस तकनीक का उपयोग अपने जो उनका प्रोफेशन है उसमें प्रभावी ढंग से उसका उपयोग कर रहे हैं, और उसकी मेरिट डिमेरिट्स को बहुत भली भांति से उन्होंने महसूस किया है। तो मुझे लगता है वो जो दिशा बोध देंगे वो कहीं हमारे इस 2 दिवसीय आयोजन को एक सार्थक दिशा दे पाएगा। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ बहुत बहुत आभार, धन्यवाद, जय हिंद, जय भारत।
Thank you, sir, for your inspiring and comprehensive theme presentation. We now move to the heart of the session, our panel discussion, featuring our exceptional lineup of speakers. It is my pleasure to introduce the moderator of this engaging panel discussion, Professor Sheel Nidhi Tripathi. Professor Tripathi is a distinguished academia in the field of journalism and mass communication, currently serving at Bharatiya Vidyapeeth Institute of Computer Applications and Management, New Delhi. With an extensive research, teaching, and media experience, she brings both academic depth and practical perspective to the discourse. Her work span across communication research, media pedagogy, and digital studies, and she has actively contributed to academic leadership through conferences, publications, and mentorship. I now invite Professor Sheel Nidhi Tripathi to take over the session. Over to you, ma'am.
Good morning, everyone. Thank you so much, Dr. Astha, for such a detailed intro. And it was actually good. It is always good to listen good about yourself. And here I am, Dr. Srinidhi Tripathi, welcoming all of you in this exciting panel discussion. And first of all, I would like to thank Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat, sir. Actually, while he was delivering his talk, I was almost lost. I was into it that I'm sitting in the class and I'm just a student and I was trying to jot down what important things he was saying. And sir, I would again like to compliment you. It was again the best class I have had after after a long. So thank you very much for
Thank you,
this.
thank you very much.
हाँ आप हम लोगों को विद्यार्थियों वाली दुनिया में पहुंचा देते हैं तो थैंक यू फॉर कीपिंग अस यंग
थैंक यू मेरा ये वो बंद हो गया है, कैमरा तो खोल नहीं पा रहा हूँ अभी, तो टेक्निकल
कोई बात नहीं सर हाँ ये डिजिटल चेंज और डिजिटल चैलेंज है सर हम वर्चुअली खुश है आई होप आपको हमारी लास्ट कॉन्फ्रेंस का वो टैग याद हो वी आर वर्चुअली हैप्पी
बिल्कुल
So, I would like to compliment Dr. Asta and her team for organizing this wonderful conference, international conference, and taking me as a moderator for this unique topic on which I think many of us have stopped thinking that are we leaving anyone behind? It is something very important. We must stop, we must take a pause and we must look back and see whom are we leaving and what best we can do to bring them forth, to bring to have a shoulder to shoulder walk with them. So yes, I'm really honored to moderate today's discussion. And a little bit intro I would like to give on it as what I think, as Sanjeev sir has already informed us all about, it is reshaping every part of our lives. From how we communicate and learn. जैसे मैं इस समय माइक को मिस कर रही हूँ उस पोडियम को मिस कर रही हूँ उस ऑडियंस को मिस कर रही हूँ उस एनवायरनमेंट को मिस कर रही हूँ तो how we communicate and how are we learning to how we work and participate in society. But as Sanjeev sir has also said that as we move ahead with innovation, we cannot lag behind and we must accept this change. But in the meanwhile, it is vital to ask, are these change inclusive? Are we upholding the core human values in the digital era or are we inadvertently having some people behind? So, we are fortunate to have with us a distinguished panel of experts who will help us to explore these critical issues from various academic and professional lenses. And as Dr. Asta has already introduced our panel before you, I would like to give a brief intro. We have with us Professor Harish Kumar. Sir, very good morning. It's my honor to have you, sir. We are connecting after a long time. So, Professor Harish, sir, आपको मेरी आवाज आ रही है?
उनका माइक बंद है। हरीश जी माइक
हाँ
आपका
हाँ
या नेटवर्क की प्रॉब्लम है फिर।
हो सकता है, हाँ. So Professor Harish Kumar, as Dr. Asta has already told, he is head of Department of Journalism and Mass Communication at Maharshi Dayanand University, Rohtak, Haryana. He has also served as Dean of the Faculty of Humanities and Arts, and he brings deep academic insights into media education and communication practices. And as I keep on reading his travelogues, his small travelogues on Facebook and digital media, he's a traveler by heart, and he enjoys traveling. This is my personal compliment I would like to add to Professor Harish. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us. Then we have Professor Rakesh Goswami, and we met in the previous conference at Bharati Vidyapeeth, and it actually was an honor to have him, to listen to him. But what I really like in him is a small boy in him who connects with everyone. And when he was in the campus at Bharati Vidyapeeth, I could see the energy and the spark in his eyes to learn. And yes, he's head of English journalism at the Indian Institute of Mass Communication, Delhi. His leadership in journalism education offers valuable understanding of how digital shifts are reshaping news and narrative. Thank you so much, Rakesh sir, for joining us. Then we have Professor DJ Pati. Uh, He's a senior media and communication consultant and advisor at the Center for Media Education, Research and Training, CMERT. He's also a senior professor of media and entertainment studies and a respected voice on media ethics and development communication. I welcome you, sir. Then we have Professor Manish Verma with us. He is from the School of Creative Media, Bahrain. Polytechnic Kingdom of Bahrain, his international perspectives enriches the discussion around global trends in digital media and creative industries. I would like to welcome you, sir. Thank you so much for joining. We have Professor Kishloy Bhattacharjee with us. He's a professor and dean at the Jindal School of Journalism and Communication, OP Jindal Global University, Sonipat, and his extensive experience in journalism, communication, and academic leadership adds depth to today's dialogue. As we have already listened to Sanjeev Bhanawat sir, he's my personal favorite, and I regard him as my guru. He's omnipresent, professor on wheels, and all sort of adjectives which we can add to a professor of journalism. I would like to honor him with those titles today. Thank you so much, sir, for connecting with us and joining us today. And to begin with, I would like to ask all the panelists who are present for to briefly share what does digital transformation mean to you in the context of education and media, and how do you see it is impacting human values today? So this is my question to all the panelists. If they could briefly share that what does media transformation mean to you? And in the context of education and media, how do you see it is impacting human values? Rakesh sir,
Good morning, everyone. First of all, I want to uh, express my gratitude to the entire team of writers Reservoir, Dr. Ruchi Goswami, Dr. Asta Saxena, Dr. Aditi Parekh, and everyone else whose name has not been announced, but they have worked very hard for last couple of days. Uh, it is an absolute honor for me to be speaking at a platform which has been helmed by uh, Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat, my guru. Uh, he is the one who led me into this world of academics, and whatever I am today in this world is all because of him. So, uh, absolute honor for me to be speaking here. Uh, it, this occasion also becomes special because another panelist is Professor Harish Kumar. Uh, he is the professor who evaluated my PhD as an external examiner. So this occasion becomes very special for me for these two reasons, that I have Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat as the chief patron of this event, and I have Professor Harish Kumar as a co-panelist. It is uh, it gives me immense pride to be speaking, to be part of a panel where Professor Harish Kumar is there. Now, coming to your question, what does digital transformation mean and how is it impacting human values? Uh, I want to start off by a very important development that happened that is there in the newspapers this morning, that a gentleman called Anthony Albanese has been elected as the Prime Minister of Australia. This is the first time in 2 decades in the history of Australia that somebody has won back-to-back elections. Now, you may wonder what has an Australian Prime Minister got to do with today's conference and why am I referring to him? So, just to make you understand why I am talking about Albanese, I want to read a quote by him. There was a press conference last month in which he had invited children to ask him questions. He was the sitting Prime Minister then. This was sometime in November, and he had invited some children to ask him questions. And an 11-year-old girl got up and asked him, "Sir, what impact do you think social media has on us kids?" And I want to quote his answer. He said, "I want to see you all out playing with each other at lunchtime, talking to each other like we are now, and engaging with each other rather than just being on your devices." And this was a precursor to the announcement that Albanese made of banning social media for all under 16 in Australia. This ban will come into effect from December this year. And Australia is the first country in the world to ban social media for all children under the age of 16 years. Of course, there has been a lot of criticism for this decision also, but many countries in Europe and US have said that we are watching this development very carefully, cautiously, and with keen interest, and we would like to follow suit. So, which means that many countries in Europe and US may also ban social media for children in school. So this was the context why I was referring to Albanese, because he's been elected back in the office of Prime Minister, and it demonstrates that people of Australia are very upbeat about this decision and the kind of things that this gentleman is doing, specifically in the realm of digital transformation. I also want to tell you another development in the same country. Uh, One experiment that Australia did last year, 2023, where they banned cell phones in schools. They said that you can own a cell phone, you can carry your cell phone to school, but when you enter the school, you have to deposit it, and you can only collect it when the school is over. And you'll be surprised to know the impact this had. Uh, a survey was done on 1,000 school principals in New South Wales, and the survey showed that 87% students said that they were less distracted now. 81% students found that their memory had improved and they had improved learning in classrooms. While these two things were improving in schools, what was declining was critical incidents such as bullying and distribution of explicit and derogatory content, and 54% children experienced fewer behavioral issues. So why I'm rattling off these numbers is to tell you the impact that digital technology has on social values, on our human values. How our kids have stopped going out to the playground and play. They are playing on their devices. How they have stopped making kid to kid interactions. How they have stopped talking to their parents. How they are always locked in their rooms with just their devices as their company. We've read about several children who committed suicide because they got disturbed by an elder, by an adult walking into their room while they were doing something on their cell phone. These are very disturbing facts and trends that we need to ponder upon. You know, childhood is an age where most development in our brain happens. The entire wiring is taking place, is getting developed when we are under 14 years of age. That probably also explains why all these moral stories are told to us in schools, because it is believed that the amount of learning that you can have under the age of 14 can never be had once you become an adult. So for this reason, I think it is very, very important to try and look at the impact that social media, specifically social media, I'm not talking about digital technology as whole, specifically the tech intervention in social media is having on our primitive minds, on our young minds. Secondly, I want to talk about introduction of AI in schools. Many of us may not know that CBSE introduced AI in class 9 in 2019, 3 years before ChatGPT came into being. 3 years before ChatGPT came into being, 3 years before we started experimenting, learning, asking questions to this generative AI tool, the CBSE had introduced AI in schools in class 9. And then it was introduced in class 11. And now, only last week, I was reading a report in the Times of India that many universities in India are launching undergrad courses in AI. Undergrad courses in AI, 4 years of course in AI, machine learning, artificial intelligence, prompt engineering, and whatnot. So these two developments considered together, on one hand, you have governments which are banning social media in school, which are banning the use of cell phones in schools because they realize the perils, the dangerous impact of tech on young minds. And on the other hand, you have education boards and universities trying to introduce the machine learning, the artificial intelligence, prompt engineering, etc., into our school curriculum. So, why I am giving you these two examples is to tell you that there is no opposition to digital transformation per se. There's no opposition. Of course, like some speakers said in the inaugural ceremony yesterday, of course, we have to walk pace to pace with the technological developments. We cannot be left behind. We have to learn the new tech. We have to learn new tools every day. Every day there are new tools. And all of us are grappling to learn how to use them, how to make, how to increase our life's productivity, how to increase our work's productivity by using these AI tools. But at the same time, we have to be very, very vigilant about the impact it is having on human values, how we are interacting with each other only virtually, how we have stopped meeting friends, how we have stopped going out randomly and dropping into somebody's house. हुजूर आपका भी एहतराम करता चलूं, इधर से गुजरा था सोचा सलाम करता चलूं. कितनी बार करते हैं हम ऐसा? Even if you want to go and meet a friend, we call him and say, यार आज 10 बजे आने की सोच रहा हूं, will you be at house, at your home? So these random things that we used to do, which fostered human to human interaction, which fostered human values, have suddenly stopped. We may have millions of friends online, but we have very few friends physically. And that is why all these mental health issues, you know, the biggest disease in the world today is loneliness. We've all become lonely. The suicide rates have suddenly increased the rate of depression has suddenly increased. Why? Because we are so lost in technology. We are so lost in our devices that we have no room for human values. The values that keep us rooted, the values that keep us sane, the values that keep us happy. The tech may make you more productive for your workplace, may make you more productive for your organizations, but the tech is making you more lonely, making you depressed, making you more unhappy. So even while our tech index may be rising phenomenally and making us more useful for our organizations, our happiness index is continuously plummeting. So I think I would stop here for the opening remarks, and would love to hear other panelists. I hope I've made some sense. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Rakesh sir. That was actually a thought-provoking intro and the start of the panel discussion. That yes, Australia has banned it, and it was a topic of discussion. In fact, we all discussed it that whether it's a right step or wrong, because we as individual are quite dependent on technology, and we cannot let this dependency affect our children. But as you said, that we have to face technology and work with it. So it has become a necessity for students and kids all, to know, to learn all these parts of digital technology and spend their time on screens. So it is, I would say that it's still a topic of discussion that whether should be banned for for this particular age group till 16 years, or should we give them a little bit freedom, because ultimately we have to face it, we have to learn it. Like when we were kids, we were also introduced to computers and we were given some screen time. I remember that our parents had brought this computer, and the computer room used to be locked, and then there was a certain time when we were allowed to go and work on the system. So that is one thing which has to be which has to be debated upon, that whether it should be completely banned or it should be given a little bit freedom for the students to keep pace with the technology, or till this age group. Secondly, yes, many of the universities and colleges are introducing these undergraduate courses, and AI has become very important for us to understand and keep pace with all these things. And these developments will definitely lead to no opposition, as you said. I agree with it. And we must learn to face technology, and we must learn to work with it. Also, the one closing line which is very important, which struck me, that yes, IT index is increasing, but happiness index is declining. So that is one point on which we must concentrate upon. Thank you very much, sir, for this opening remark. Now, my next question is to Professor Harish. Sir, आप हैं? Are you there?
हाँ हाँ मैं हूँ प्लीज हाँ
सर
मेरी आवाज
बहुत बहुत स्वागत।
नमस्कार हाँ आवाज आ रही है
जी जी बिल्कुल आ रही है सर, बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है आपको सुनकर। अभी तक तो हम आपको पढ़ रहे थे, आपके ट्रैवलॉग्स, तो आपको सुन के भी बहुत अच्छा लग रहा है। सर मेरा क्वेश्चन आपसे ये है कि जैसे जैसे हम टेक्नोलॉजी के साथ आगे बढ़ रहे हैं, क्या एथिकल कंसर्न्स, क्या एथिकल डिलेमास हैं जो इमर्ज हो रहे हैं, जो हमारे सामने आ रहे हैं, और हम आर वी एट रिस्क ऑफ कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग एम्पैथी, प्राइवेसी, जैसे संजीव भानावत सर ने भी कहा कि प्राइवेसी के एथिक्स बहुत हैं, या फिर ट्रस्ट इन द नेम ऑफ एफिशिएंसी. So as we digitize everything from healthcare to journalism, what ethical dilemmas are emerging, and how are we able to cope up with it?
बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया, सभी को नमस्कार। प्रोफेसर राकेश गोस्वामी जुड़े हैं और भानवत साहब ने तो एक बहुत अच्छी पृष्ठभूमि दी इस सारे कार्यक्रम के लिए। ध्रुव जी जुड़े हैं, बहुत अरसे बाद में उनका चेहरा देख रहा हूँ। मैं आस्था का धन्यवाद करता हूं कि उन्होंने मुझे मौका दिया। बल्कि मैं उनको ये कह रहा था कि काश कि हम फिर जयपुर में मिल पाते सभी लोग। और जयपुर इसके लिए जाना जाता है कि वहाँ बड़ी बड़ी कॉन्फ्रेंस हुई हैं, खुद भानावत साहब उनको करवाते रहे हैं। लेकिन मुझे लगता है कि डिजिटल युग का, अभी राकेश जी ने जो कहा कि हम एक विलगाव भी डिजिटल युग कर रहा है कि हम एक शायद आज मिलते, कल से हम मिल रहे होते एक दूसरे को, लेकिन डिजिटली हम एक दूसरे से अब इस फोन पे, कहिए मैं तो फोन से जुड़ा हूं आपसे, या हमारे सामने लैपटॉप रखे हैं हम उनसे जुड़े हुए हैं। डॉक्टर शील निधि ने बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात कही है कि ये जो बदलता परिदृश्य है, डिजिटल युग का बदलता परिदृश्य है, सबसे पहले मुझे ये लगता है कि एक बहुत बड़ी आबादी है भारत की। मैं भारत के परिप्रेक्ष्य में बात करूं, बहुत बड़ी आबादी है जो अभी भी गरीबी की रेखा से नीचे है, और ये देश में बहुत ज्यादा लाभार्थी है। लाभार्थी आप एक नया शब्द नहीं है, बल्कि अब एक तो एक परंपरा है पूरी की पूरी, वो अलग अलग जगह आप दिखाई देगा आपको। तो क्या हम इस डिजिटल युग में ये जो आबादी है बहुत बड़ी, जिसको कि हम ये भी कह रहे हैं कि भारत आने वाले समय में एक विश्व गुरु की ओर जाए भारत, लेकिन मेरा ये कहना कि इस बहुत बड़ी आबादी को क्या हम डिजिटली साथ जोड़ें तो सही, क्या हम उनकी तैयारी करवा रहे हैं कि वो हमारे साथ जुड़ सकें? ये एक महत्वपूर्ण सवाल है। मुझे लगता है कि इसको हमें व्यापक रूप से देखना चाहिए। हम डिजिटली में अभी एक उसकी बात करी गई कि एक जो डिजिटल गैप है, और ये बहुत महत्वपूर्ण बात है कि कहीं ऐसा तो नहीं है कि हम बहुत बड़े आबादी को मतलब ठीक है, हम एक औपचारिक रूप से आप उनको साथ जोड़े हुए हैं, लेकिन एक बहुत गंभीर चीजों के लिए वो हमसे पीछे छूट रहे हैं। दूसरा कि इस बदलते परिदृश्य में मीडिया कहाँ है, जिसका कि मैं विद्यार्थी हूं, हम सभी विद्यार्थी हैं मीडिया के। जो मीडिया है, अभी राकेश जी ने सोशल मीडिया की बात करी, उसके बदलते परिदृश्य में कहाँ जा रहा है? नंबर एक में यदि बात करूं कि हाँ, यदि हम इसमें देखें तो आज एक मीडिया का व्यापक रूप में लोकतांत्रिकरण हुआ है कि वो जगह जगह पहुंच रहा है। आज आप एक मीडिया को एक तरीके से उसे आप उसको आप ग्रिप नहीं कर पा रहे हैं या नहीं कर सकते हैं। और जो नई टेक्नोलॉजी है वो पिछली टेक्नोलॉजी को खारिज कर रही है। आज मेरे घर में तो 6-7 साल से टेलीविजन नहीं है, 6-7 साल हो गए कि टीवी नहीं है। अभी क्या है कि सब लोग अपने अपने यही जो आपका फोन है, इसी के ऊपर सबके अपने अपने चैनल हैं, सबके अपने अपने प्रोग्राम। तो ये जो एक बदलाव मुझे लगता है, और दूसरा बदलाव मुझे लग रहा है कि जो भारतीय भाषाओं, जो भाषा के लेवल पे मीडिया में जो बदलाव हो रहा है वो बहुत व्यापक बदलाव है। और वो बदलाव ये है, हिंदी हम आप सब लोग जिसमें बात करते हैं, लेकिन भारत की जो अन्य भाषाएं हैं, हम 22 भाषाओं को तो अपनी राष्ट्रीय भाषाएं कह रहे हैं, जिसमें तमिल, तेलुगु, कन्नड़, मलयालम, मराठी, गुजराती, कोंकणी, पंजाबी और तमाम भाषाएं। और ये वो भाषाएं हैं जिनमें हमारे देश की धड़कन है, हमारा दिल धड़कता है। आज उन भाषाओं में डिजिटली माध्यम से निश्चित रूप से मीडिया, खासतौर पे उसकी पहुंच बहुत व्यापक हुई है। और उन भाषाओं से परे मैं जो एक अलग रुझान देख रहा हूं, और वो दुनिया भर में रुझान है, मैं भारत के उस रुझान को पकड़ रहा हूं कि अब वो भाषाओं को भी छोड़ रहा है। अब वो चीजें आपकी बोली में आ रही है, अब बोली में आ रही है। मेरी माँ बोली हरियाणवी है, वो उसमें आ रही है। गुजराती की भी कुछ उपबोलियां हो सकती हैं, उसमें आ रही हैं। और इवन राजस्थानी की भी स्थानीय उपबोलियां हैं, उसमें अब वो बंदा खड़ा है अपनी बात करने के लिए। अभी उसको हिंदी और अंग्रेजी तो चलो ठीक है, हिंदी की भी जरूरत नहीं है, वो निरक्षर है, लेकिन वो अपनी बात कह सकता है और वो अपनी बात कह रहा है। तो आप ये देखेंगे कि और इस कहने ने क्या है, व्यापक रूप से समाज को जोड़ा भी है। और मुझे लगता है कि एक महत्वपूर्ण बात और हो रही है कि जो हमारा पारंपरिक मीडिया है, खासतौर पर मैं इलेक्ट्रॉनिक मीडिया की बात करूं, उसके अलग एक अल्टरनेटिव मीडिया, जो एक वैकल्पिक मीडिया है, उसने डिजिटल मीडिया ने उसको एक बहुत बड़ा स्पेस दिया है। और जिसको काबू करने की कवायदें सरकारें करती हैं, विश्वव्यापी है। आज उनको कवायदें की जा रही हैं कि उनको किस तरीके से काबू में रखा जाए। वो कहीं जगह वो सत्ताएं कई जगह पे वो उसमें कामयाब भी हुई हैं, वो काबू भी कर लेती हैं, लेकिन अल्टरनेटिव मीडिया को वो अल्टरनेटिव मीडिया उनकी पहुंच से बाहर है बिकॉज ऑफ दिस डिजिटल टेक्नोलॉजी। डिजिटल की वजह से आज कोई ना कोई बात, एक नैरेटिव, सोशल मीडिया में अलग अलग तरीके के नैरेटिव हैं, फैलाए जा रहे हैं, फैलाए जाते भी हैं, एक विद्वेष की बात भी है, लेकिन मैं देखता हूं कि उसके समांतर रूप से आज आपको ये भली भांति आप अनुमान लगा सकते हैं कि क्या बात कही जा रही है इस देश के हित में, व्यापक हित में। क्योंकि आप ये मान के चलिए कि ये जो देश है, इसके यदि हम एम्बलम की बात करें, हमारा जो एम्बलम है, जो हमारा प्रतीक चिन्ह है इस देश का, उसको आप देखें तो हमारे जो उसमें अशोक का जो स्तंभ, वो जो उसका चिन्ह है, उसके नीचे एक शब्द लिखा हुआ है जिसमें लिखा है सत्यमेव जयते। सत्यमेव जयते, ये कौन है सत्यमेव जयते? हम इस पे विचार करें। और ये आपने इस जो आपके जो अंतरराष्ट्रीय आप सम्मेलन कर रहे हैं, इसमें कहा है कि मल्टी डिसिप्लिनरी, बहु अनुशासन हो इसमें, तो ये जोड़ने की जरूरत है। ये जो सत्यमेव जयते है, ये कौन है? ये सत्य, ये और मुझे लगता है कि हम इस बहाने से हम ये भी देखें कि हम किससे संचालित हैं। वो भारत का संविधान है जो ये कहता है वी द पीपल ऑफ इंडिया, हम भारत के लोग। कौन है ये हम भारत के लोग? इस पे विचार करने की जरूरत है। और व्यापक रूप से ये तभी मुझे लगता है संभव है जब हम इस डिजिटल जो बदलता परिदृश्य है, इसमें हम ये जो गंभीर सवाल है, इस तरीके के जो सवाल हैं, इसको हम व्यापक विमर्श में लाएं। क्योंकि ये हिंदुस्तान बहुत बहुधार्मिक देश है, बहुभाषी देश है, बहुसांस्कृतिक देश है। मैं थोड़ा सा, मेरा अनुभव है, मैं कह सकता हूं, मतलब मैं क्या, सभी लोग कह सकते हैं, हमने इसको अनुभव किया है, अपनी अंतरात्मा में अनुभव किया है। अभी हमारे बीच में जो लोग जुड़े हैं, कोई तमिलनाडु से हो सकते हैं, कोई उड़ीसा से हैं, कोई दूर सुदूर अंचल से हैं। ये कौन चीज है जो सबको जोड़े हुए है? ये डिजिटल, अभी तक ये डिजिटल नहीं था जोड़े हुए, कहीं ना कोई हमारी जो अंतर सांस्कृतिक चेतना है भारत की, वो भी इसको जुड़ी हुई है। तो क्या इस डिजिटल परिदृश्य जो बदल रहा है, ये क्या हम उस चेतना को, जो हमारा भाव है, इसको क्या हम दोबारा उन्हीं माध्यमों से व्यापक रूप में जुड़े रह सकते हैं, या और वो भी सकारात्मक रूप से, डिवाइड करके नहीं है। दुर्भाग्य ये कि डिजिटली एक तो डिवाइड वो है ही है, जो अभी बात की भानावत साहब ने, राकेश जी ने जो बात की, डिजिटल डिवाइड, लेकिन एक डिजिटल डिवाइड वो है जो नैरेटिव की दृष्टि से किया जा रहा है, जो नैरेटिव फैला के किया जा रहा है। तो हमारे सामने जो अभी आपने कहा कि चुनौती, ये बहुत भयंकर चुनौती है, ये सब बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है। मानवीय मूल्यों का, अभी आपने कहा मानवीय मूल्यों का क्षरण की बात है। अब वो मानवीय मूल्य क्षरण कहां से होंगे? क्योंकि उसके कान में पड़ रहा है, ऐसी चीजें कान में पड़ रही हैं, काट दो, जला दो, फलाना कर दो, तो ये क्या होगा? ऐसे ऐसे आप वीडियो देख सकती हैं, कोई भी डाल सकता है। तो मुझे लगता है कि क्या हम इसको रोक सकते हैं, ऐसी चीजों को? ये सबसे एक महत्वपूर्ण जो सवाल है, एक बहुत बड़ी चुनौती है कि क्या हम इस व्यापक जो डिजिटलाइजेशन है, और खासतौर पे जो हम लोग मीडिया को संबोधित हैं, क्या हम इन चीजों के ऊपर व्यापक विचार विमर्श से इनको कहीं एड्रेस कर पाने में, रोक पाने में, या रेगुलेट कर पाने में कहीं हम अपने को पाते हैं या नहीं पाते हैं? मुझे लगता है ये भी भविष्य में हमें करना होगा, या हमें इस और आना होगा। दूसरा मुझे लगता है कि जो अभी एआई की बात हुई है ना, एआई की अभी बात हुई है, बिल्कुल, और ये बदल रही है, हमारी दुनिया को बदल रही है, लेकिन किन लोगों को बदलेगी? जो इसके बारे में जानते हैं, जो इसके बारे में जानते हैं। लेकिन जो इसके बारे में नहीं जानते, मेरे जैसा आदमी है कि शायद मैं उतना थोड़ा बहुत जानता हूं, लेकिन वो जो एक बहुत बड़ा हिस्सा है आबादी का, वो तो डिजिटलाइजेशन तक भी नहीं पहुंचा है। उसके लिए आप क्या कहेंगे? एआई तो छोड़ दीजिए। तब तो क्या होगा? फिर सूचनाओं में एक तरीके का नियंत्रण का दौर शुरू होगा। सूचना और समाचारों में यदि हमने इसके ऊपर व्यापक विचार विमर्श नहीं किया, तो सूचनाओं में, समाचारों में नियंत्रण का दौर शुरू होगा। और वो नियंत्रण का दौर, वो सूचनाओं में नियंत्रण का दौर समाचारों में कहां ले जा सकता है, इसकी कल्पना भी भयावह है। तब तो क्या करेंगे, फिर आप माइंड को कंट्रोल करेंगे। तो मुझे ये लगता है कि आने वाले समय में डिजिटल युग में जो ये डिजिटल युग का जो बदलता हुआ परिदृश्य है, इसमें बहुत बड़ी चुनौतियां हैं, इसको हम एड्रेस करें। और एड्रेस, मैं तो ये कहता हूं कि हमारे जो विद्यार्थी हैं, जहां हम पढ़ा रहे हैं, जहां हम संबोधित हैं, मीडिया के विद्यार्थी हैं, जनसंचार के विद्यार्थी हैं, पत्रकारिता के विद्यार्थी हैं, पत्रकारिता के लिए और बड़ी चुनौती खड़ी हो रही है, बहुत बड़ी चुनौती खड़ी हो रही है। आज डिजिटल इस सारी जो आपकी टेक्नोलॉजी है, निगरानी का दौर बढ़ रहा है, सर्विलियंस, वी आर अंडर सर्विलियंस, हर वक्त तो हम सर्विलियंस में। अब आप देखिए, एक सबसे बड़ी चुनौती तो ये है कि मेरी निजता नहीं है, वो चौराहे पर खड़ी है मेरी निजता, उसको कोई भी देख सकता है, कोई भी झांक सकता है, मेरा डाटा मेरे पास नहीं है, पता नहीं किस किस के पास है, क्योंकि मैं उस बाजार में मजबूर हूं अपना डाटा देने के लिए। कभी कुछ मेरा आधार कार्ड मांग लिया जा रहा है, कभी कुछ चीज मांग लिया जा रहा है। तो ये जो, और मैं विशेष तौर पे पत्रकारों के ऊपर, पत्रकारिता के ऊपर, मीडिया के ऊपर जो निगरानी का दौर है, वो इसमें और बढ़ेगा। मुझे आने वाले समय में लगता है इस डिजिटलाइजेशन में मीडिया के ऊपर निगरानी का दौर बढ़ेगा। और जो जागरूक एक जो कहते हैं कि नागरिक समाज, सिविल सोसाइटी, मुझे लगता है उसकी एक महत्वपूर्ण भूमिका रहेगी और होगी आने वाले समय में। एक सिविल सोसाइटी की, एक जागरूक नागरिक की भूमिका आने वाले समय में बढ़ेगी, और हमें बढ़ानी पड़ेगी, व्यापक विमर्श से बढ़ानी पड़ेगी। नहीं होगा ये कि कुछ समूह, कुछ कंपनियां, कुछ लोग एक व्यापक आपकी जो टेक्नोलॉजी है उसके ऊपर अपना कब्जा करके किसी भी तरीके से दिमागों को, सारे विमर्श को, सारे समाज को वो किसी भी दिशा में ले जा सकते हैं। तो मेरा इस संदर्भ में इतना ही कह, धन्यवाद। धन्यवाद।
थैंक यू सो मच सर। बहुत सारे प्रश्न आपने उठाए और बहुत सारे सुझाव भी दिए, हमें किस तरीके से तैयार रहना है ऑल्टरनेटिव मीडिया को, डिजिटल मीडिया ने जो स्पेस ले लिया है उसका, और कितना हम समर्थ हैं, कितना हम डिजिटल डिवाइड को भर पाने में समर्थ हैं, हो सकते हैं, उसके लिए क्या क्या काम हमें करने होंगे, इन सब पे सोचना बहुत अनिवार्य हो गया है। और ये जो एआई है, ये आपने बिल्कुल सही बात कही कि ये किसके लिए है, मतलब किसको बदल रही है, उन लोगों को जो पढ़े लिखे हैं, जो हम लोग हैं, जो जानते हैं कैसे उनका प्रयोग करें, और उन लोगों का क्या जो दूर दराज हैं, रूरल पॉपुलेशन है, ओल्ड जनरेशन है, या मार्जिनलाइज्ड कम्युनिटीज हैं। इस पर संजीव सर ने भी अपनी बात रखी थी कि जो ट्राइबल पीपुल है, जो मार्जिनलाइज्ड है, जो दूर हैं हमसे, जो अभी तक डिजिटलाइज्ड नहीं हुए हैं, मतलब डिजिटल इंडिया का कॉन्सेप्ट ही जिन्हें नहीं पता है, उन तक हम कैसे पहुंचेंगे। और हम सपना देख रहे हैं विश्व गुरु बनने का, ये एक बहुत बड़ा चैलेंज है हम लोगों के सामने, जिस पर हमें जरूर ध्यान देना होगा। कैसे, हाउ विल वी रीच टू देम। तो अब जो मैंने समझा, आपने जो कहा कि हाउ विल वी रीच टू देम, उसमें मीडिया हमारे साथ है, मीडिया हमें वहां तक पहुंचाएगा, लेकिन मीडिया नियंत्रण के दौर में है। बहुत सही बात हरीश सर ने उठाई कि ये माइंड कंट्रोल, जैसे राकेश गोस्वामी सर ने भी कहा था कि मेंटल हेल्थ एक बहुत बड़ी प्रॉब्लम आ रही है। एक आम नागरिक इतना पजल्ड हो जाता है इस बाढ़ में, संचार की न्यूज कहाँ से आ रही है, कौन सी रील देख रहे हैं। अपनी प्लेट हम खुद सजा रहे हैं सर, अपनी थाली हम खुद सजा रहे हैं। जैसे आपने कहा टीवी नहीं है, सबके पास मोबाइल है, सब अपनी अपनी प्लेट में अपना अपना खाना रख रहे हैं। ऐसे ही हम अपनी अपनी प्लेट सजा रहे हैं, हम ये चैनल देखेंगे, हम ये नहीं देखेंगे, और हमने अपना डेटा लीक कर दिया, हमने ये बता दिया कि हमारी प्लेट में क्या है, उसको लोग कैसे यूज कर रहे हैं। ये बहुत सेंसिटाइज्ड क्वेश्चन है, जो एज अ जर्नलिस्ट, एज अ मीडिया प्रोफेशनल्स, हम सबको आज यहाँ इस कॉन्फ्रेंस में सोचकर इसका एक अच्छा विकल्प निकालना पड़ेगा, क्योंकि हम सब सर्वेलेंस के दौर में हैं और हम सबको सब लोग जानते हैं, वी आर नोन बाय ऑल। तो ऐसे में सिविक जर्नलिज्म या जो सिविल सोसाइटी है, उसको कितना अवेयर होने की जरूरत है। बहुत महत्वपूर्ण सर, आपने 10 मिनट में जो क्वेश्चंस उठाए, उनको जब मैं कनेक्ट कर रही थी और बहुत दिनों बाद मैं कलम उठाकर लिखती भी जा रही हूँ, तो जो मैंने लिखा है इस पर आई विल ट्राई कि मैं कुछ और अच्छा इसको कॉन्सेप्चुलाइज करूं। बट हाँ, ये जो क्वेश्चंस उठे हैं, इनके थ्रू मैं कनेक्ट करना चाहूंगी प्रोफेसर डीजी पति जी को।
डॉक्टर, मैं माफी चाहूंगा, बीच में मुझे थोड़ा एग्जिट करना पड़ेगा, एक और हमारी संगोष्ठी है, तो मैं उसमें करूंगा, है ना।
बिल्कुल सर, थैंक यू सो मच।
लेकिन क्षमा चाहेंगे प्रोफेसर हरीश सर, प्रोफेसर हरीश सर, क्षमा चाहूंगा, बीच में व्यवधान के लिए आप निकल रहे हैं,
जी
इसलिए संक्षेप में जिन मुद्दों की ओर आपने ध्यान आकृष्ट किया है, खासतौर से सर्विलेंस और निगरानी की बात है, और आपने जो निजता और रेगुलेशंस की बात की, तो निजता तो अब सर कहीं रहा भी नहीं, कहीं दूर दूर तो नहीं रहा। जैसे ही आप क्लिक करते हैं, आप डाटा की बात कर रहे थे, तो निजता की तो बात ही नहीं रही सर। आप क्या देख रहे हैं, अगले सेकंड आपको वही सब चीजें परोसी जाएंगी।
जी जी
तो
जी
इस पे बहुत गंभीर प्रश्न की आवश्यकता है। चूंकि आप कहीं और निकल रहे हैं किसी और मीटिंग में, तो आपसे मुलाकात होगी और हम चर्चा करेंगे। आपका आभार, आभार सर, आभार, प्रणाम करता हूँ, प्रणाम करता हूँ।
नमस्कार नमस्कार।
थैंक यू हरीश सर, थैंक यू वेरी मच। बहुत अच्छे मुद्दे उठाए आपने। मैं प्रोफेसर डीजी पति जी को इनवाइट करना चाहूंगी, और थोड़ा सा मैं डिजिटल लिटरेसी और एडुकेशन की तरफ जाना चाहूंगी सर, और आपसे ये पूछना चाहूंगी दैट हाउ कैन एजुकेशनल इंस्टीट्यूशनल play a more proactive role in ensuring digital literacy without compromising critical thinking and human connection. प्रोफेसर डीजी पाटिल हैं हमारे साथ, जुड़ गए हैं क्या?
जी 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 मैम,
जी
गुड मॉर्निंग।
नमस्कार। जी गुड मॉर्निंग सर। सर, जैसा हरीश सर को आपने सुना होगा, उन्होंने बहुत सारे मुद्दे उठाए और सर्वेलेंस की बात करी, मीडिया कंट्रोल की बात करी, पत्रकारिता निगरानी के दौर में है। ऐसे में हम जो शिक्षण संस्थान हैं, वो किस तरीके से एक प्रोएक्टिव रोल प्ले कर सकते हैं डिजिटल लिटरेसी को बढ़ाने में, विदाउट कॉम्प्रोमाइजिंग क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग एंड ह्यूमन कनेक्शन। ये मेरा एक प्रश्न होगा जो मुझे लगता है इसको कनेक्ट कर रहे हैं कि किस तरीके से एक शिक्षण संस्थान या शिक्षक होने के नाते हम डिजिटल लिटरेसी लाएं और जो सिविक सोसाइटी है उसको और अवेयर बनाएं, और उन ताकि उनकी जो क्रिटिकल थिंकिंग है, जो उनका ह्यूमन कनेक्ट है, वो भी अनछुआ ना रहे और हम उनको लिटरेट भी कर पाए डिजिटली। इस पर आपके विचार चाहूंगी सर मैं।
ध्रुव जी, आप म्यूट हैं, जरा अपने आप को खोल दीजिए।
माइक, हाँ सर, आपका माइक। हाँ
हाँ सर। So I mean, very good morning to all of you. Most respected my elder brother Professor Bhanawat Saab, one of the co-organizer and the chief editor of the Communication Today, Madam Seal, the moderator of this program, Madam Astha, Madam Ruchi, and Madam Parikh, and other members of the organizing team of the Writer Reservoir, and my fellow panelists, and the distinguished guests, and the scholars and first of all, my compliments to Professor Bhanawat, who is not just a great teacher, but promoted the culture of creating the forums. So Jaipur, Udaipur, so different media was organized first time. Now many parts of the country it is being organized by various institutions or by various bodies and all. So yes, entertainment industry people could come, interact, speak, network. So that's a great save. Point number two, I am much delighted that we are talking about the digital and the AI technologies, at least in this contemporary time when all of us are now more connected and affiliated to the digital media. So, and Communication Today created this platform. I compliment each one of you. It's a very painstaking job. Now, coming back to Seal ma'am, your question is very pertinent. Reading through, because just yesterday evening I returned from Mumbai, the WAVES conference, which was organized by the Ministry of Information Broadcasting and Government of India in Mumbai. It is being forecasted that by 2027, India will be the third global player in the media domain, and our media entertainment revenue could exceed $5 trillion. And digital is growing at the rate of 19 to 21%, part can go up to 26%. So that means the advertising or revenue spending also going to migrate in a bigger way to shift from traditional media, print or television or radio to the digital space. Of course, digital is providing multilateral opportunities from OTT to digital radio, or what you call internet radio, internet TV and all that. So there are massive engagement during Corona. All of us have witnessed way back 2020, and now it is increasing because of every walks of the population is participating, whether at my age or my dad's age, or for that matter, the younger generation. I normally see my daughter who, weekend, whenever I get to to look at her schedule and all, sometimes communicational tools as well as the entertainment solutions. So a country having 140 crore population, more than 76 crore people are using mobile phone, but the data will be released so it can cross 80 crores also very shortly. It's a good sign, and India is, all of you know, going to be the world youngest country by 2028, because our youngest population is a bigger asset. Our population is a bigger asset. Yesterday, I was listening to Professor Bhanawat Sahab was talking about that our population of 140 crore population is a bigger strength because it's a great consumer market. Digital media is also flourishing and promoted, supported by the Western framework or Western contributors or Western financiers or Western promoters, because India is a big market. In totality, it is also making our impact at our personal, professional, official, all spheres of our engagement. That is also to be accepted. Point number third, digital media is a primary source of navigating information, data mining, collating information, researching, all that is happening. So that's a positive dynamics. Minus, there are some negative impact because people are drifting from personal equations, or Rakesh was very rightly point out earlier, people used to meet, people used to talk, people used to create a situation to meet at a weekend or some common places. That is now slowly getting eroded. So just pick up the phone, talk to person. So there are a lot of things. So plus and minus both are there. Now, coming back to your question being raised, it is very pertinent that we, the media educators, at least I can talk about my 27 years of my experience, and both at the EU level to USA to coming back to India, and in the education sector or in the corporate sector or in the entertainment media channel. I could say that contemporary scenario, media literacy is an inevitable aspect. It has to be promoted by all of us as a mandatory subject for the students, no matter whatever studying, because digital is impacting everywhere, not just the media or mass communication students. So notwithstanding our own domain alone, but across the field, like these days, UGC directions, undergraduate students are studying about sustainable development goal or the environmental aspect, value education and all that. So digital literacy must be taught. CBSE has initiated AI and media courses. That is a welcomeable step. But I will suggest that standard 8 level digital literacy is needed, because all of us agree in a simple example that in all of us, our house, we have seen a 3-year-old child when behaving naughty or sometimes creating little problem. So we thought the best way to pick up the phone and give her or give him, so that he or she will get engaged and we could do our job without disturbing. So that trend became an habit, and moreover that the child goes to school at the preschool level, started talking about all those things. So I believe if not class 5th level, but I will say at least class 8, when the children are entered to the first phase of the adolescent stage, so at least they could at least have a better understanding and mental maturity to understand every aspect. Media literacy will not only teaching them, but also guiding them as a mentor role. Now, as a media educator or as a communication professional, we must promote a culture of mentorship. And way back when I was heading the Mudra public relations, so that time we started a campaign. So I would say that media literacy should promote a culture of each one teach one, so that every child inside classroom to be sensitized. And second, beyond classroom also propagate whomsoever they are interacting about the pros and cons of the digital media's use. Relevance, pertinent areas, do's and don'ts. So, like I would say, to give an example, way back I was holding a nationwide training program by the Information Broadcasting Ministry, one of the division called Directorate of Field Publicity, on adolescent behavior and teaching the adolescent about their own personal hygiene, personal health, sexual behavior and all that. Many times there are a lot of resistance in many parts of the country, but it was done in a good way, and a lot of educational institutions come forward subsequently, and it was a very good campaign, so that at school level every child should know about his or her health and all. So that was a very successful campaign. And once they know about themselves, so it is very easy to tackle and also understand about different health related issues and all. Many times parent doesn't willing to speak on those areas, but could be spoken. And I'm glad that nowadays it is being promoted in a big way. And similarly, digital literacy across the board, whether you are going any stream, science, commerce, or arts or anything at a school level, from the starting level, you have general like from standard 12 onwards, and at the college level, it has to be introduced as a mandatory compulsory subject for all, so that every student is sensitized. One. Number two, digital literacy programs also needed for the elderly people, the people, those are even not working, or a common man. So some, what do you call, the community workshops must be done. So while I was in India Today Media Institute, we introduced digital literacy as a mandatory paper, and then we conducted more than 40 odd resident welfare association of the top housing societies on a workshop mode. So anchor used to go talk to them and interacted and all. It was very successful drive. We connected to the schools and conducted leading public schools in Delhi NCR. So similar part, what we learn, sometimes children are reluctant to speak, but then moment you create an interface and create a platform, they talk, they share their own issues and problems. So digital literacy could tackle three things. One, we are living in an age of digital misinformation, fake news, deep fakes and all that. And those digital information composition could be tackled properly. Second, how to find out what is a verifiable content to see, or what is a doctored content, or what is a content which is dangerous to self and also to the community. Community guidelines are making, and even entertainment channels are also putting it now. So that's a good step after government coming into the legal framework part. Similarly, the digital literacy could promote that one. Number two, it could create an awareness how to navigate information. Many of us witness that digital, barring those students, scholars or teachers, or depending on, or scientists or any other business professions, selectively they use depending on their area of work, but largely entertainment solutions is one of the greater composition of the digital spending, data spending, as per the TRIDE report you could see, or Ernst & Young report, FICCI Frames report, CII Big Pictures report, where they forecasted media growth, but they talk about the total usages of the media. Entertainment composition is the highest part, whether it is a news media or through the YouTube, through OTTs, through the podcasting, through different music channel, because all of us have seen last 4 years, at least I could say, audio-based music channel, Ghana, Spotify, Wink, and they have gained popularity. They started podcasting, then again popularity. Now FM radios also going into spectrum. So second part, just to give a entertainment part and how you could navigate, and how the different procedural part you should look at. Complete and all. And third, social media. A country like India, where we have an intercultural or is a cultural diversity based country, multilinguistic based country, so many times common man, they do not understand what is real information or unreal. Sometimes some videos are purportedly posted or being intentionally posted to create and fragment the mindset of the viewers or the audience or the surfers and all. So at least that could be tackled. Point number third, we should also through digital literacy talk about the actual usages of the AI or chat GPT or different kind of multi-tier, the technology-based production formats. Young people, I go to many colleges for grooming sessions and all. I have seen they are all, whatever they know or they are not aware, but they aware of one thing, because Apple phone is in their hand, Canva and different basic production format they know. They try to post their videos on or reels through the Insta or Facebook and all that. That's fine. That's a good thing, good awareness. But then they are not very educated how to do it. Sometimes it is also having a negative impact, because social media
Sir, there are some network issues, I suppose. Ati sir, can you hear us? Am I audible to all?
Yes, you are audible.
Yeah, so it seems that sir, there are some network connections, I think.
Yeah. Actually, in the morning, I faced that same problem. That's why I joined late, because in my area, little bit network issue is there. But anyway, sorry. So coming back, point number one. So then he said, then I was little surprised, High Commissioner of a country like India in a foreign country sending this message. Of course, it's a written in a way. Then I started connecting him. He said, no, I have not sent. And then these kind of things also coming, digital frauds are happening, and especially when you are using the digital instruments or UPI or the different financial transactions based things. Even social media also sometimes
Sir,
create a negative.
these digital arrests also, even the educated people are facing these problems, and they are getting, these digital arrested phenomena, which has come nowadays.
Yes.
Doctors, engineers, they are all under it, and they have faced a lot of problems. So much of digital literacy is also required. You're
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, exactly. And point number four, which all of us will agree, because I'm glad because our all fraternity members are here. AI coming to the limelight, it has a great blessings. But at the same time, education or in the career sector, we are facing another challenge, that students are doing assignments having similar nature, copy paste without even studying. Sometime the dissertation in a lot of even famous institute, I don't want to name, the students are even directly copy paste the things without even analyzing it. So digital literacy could give them a kind of hands-on experience, how to navigate the data, how to analyze the data, and how you could collate the information. And sometimes the cluttering information also sometimes create confusion. So how to not to be confused, rather than go in a very perceiving way and then create those pertinent information part. So one is called information collating, data mining, and then you create data oriented forecasting part, because these days every new channels are using called fact check team, and deep research are being done, and every news content going to the newsroom after being verified, scanned at different layers. So those kind of awareness also to be imparted to students, especially media students, because when they land up in internship, at least in India Today group, I could tell experience. Sometimes they are quite unaware, and sometimes they do a lot of horrific things because of the lack of awareness. So it takes a lot of time to educate them. Now it is our duty as a media educator to guide them how they could be benefiting from using the technology to enriching their career, enriching their knowledge base, because all of us agree one thing, that digital media or digital growth has given us one nice power of wisdom to internalize, that we cannot say today that we are all aware of everything. Whether it is me or anyone, a person having 30-year experience and a person having 3 years of experience are in the same platform, because day-to-day basis you are not synergizing yourself with information, then you are nowhere. So digital literacy could teach that part. And point number 4, I will also, sorry, point number 5, I will also advocate digital literacy for teachers also. Some FDP must be conducted. UGC talks a lot of things, but then how FDPs are done, and I know all of us know and all that, but I believe short duration maybe, but at least a full-fledged FDP must be done for media educator targeting, because more than 350, 361 universities are offering now media education course. It's a good growth. Out of 981 universities in the country, those are affiliated with UGC, and then it number could go on. But then even other branches, other segments, the faculty members also to be taught as a part of the digital literacy based FDP programs are there. Education institution or media education divisions or institutions under either an university or any autonomous body or under any media establishment, all of us are having a duty to educate the common man, because that's how I said each one teach one. Perhaps that could educate the community at large by blaming or by shifting responsibility, by framing law. Very stringent cyber law is there, but cyber frauds are happening every day. The law is stringent. There is a dedicated police division is created, IT cell, cyber cell, you could complain and everything. Banks are also having a cyber cell and all that. That's fine. But then many times people are not aware. Even I found sometimes the educated people are also not aware. So I believe digital literacy is not just for students. So don't take it other way. It's a trilateral effort. One is the student; those are the future of the country. Second, the educated community, especially the teaching fraternity. Those are the guiding spirit for the future generation. Those are preparing the future media entertainment stalwarts, or media mughals, or media entrepreneurs, digital entrepreneurs, because digital avenue is also one of the greater monetizing power. And a student, I have seen my experience, student coming on the first semester, second semester onward, they have their own YouTube channel, and slowly by the time they passed out, their channel is getting monetized. So they earn money. So they also to be targeted. And third, the common man, every society, every pockets of the rural segments to the urban centric part, the every downtown area, we should create free workshop. Like Google News Network is now educating teacher. It's a many of the university teachers, college teachers now being trained by them with an independent body, data leads. Similarly, a platform must be created by the media educators, because taking this advantage, I request one of the senior most professor, Professor Bhanawat sir, could lead this part. All of us will extend our support. We should create a community program, starting with the Jaipur is one of the culturally rich and multi-diversity city in the country, and upcoming the great smart city. And slowly we should target other cities wherever the our fraternity people are there in all over the country, from Kashmir to Kanyakumari, from northeast to the southern part, and so, or different parts of the country. We should create that our fraternity round the year. My request to all of you, my appeal to all of you, 4 activities we should done. We should create a dedicated workshop for our teachers, imparting the latest developments technologically, or different kind of uh, you know the case studies or simulations to be presented to them, technological advancement to be communicated to them for teachers. Second, for the student, we should write to, as a behalf of media fraternity, write to UGC, the CBSE, the AICTE, or the NCTE, or NIPA. Those are the independent bodies are guiding the primary education to higher education to technical education and all that. Every spectrum digital
Sir,
literacy.
sorry to interrupt. We're running little short of time,
Yeah,
so
yeah.
can we?
Okay, I'm just
Right, yeah.
concluding. I'm concluding. Yeah, just 1 minute. So that should be done. And point number third, community and engagement based program must be organized. Uh, Either it is on the digitally or on site, or how it could done, that could be worked it out. And fourth part, at least we should involve the decision making level people in our area, whether it is an administrator or every works of people. Those opinion matters, education for them. Even I would say the policy maker also need to be educated on that. Last election we have seen many political parties conducted series of workshops. Even I was involved in many of workshop training the leaders and spokesperson and all that. Similarly, we should also educate them. So these kind of 4 activities, at least through this forum, my submission to all of you. And because of the paucity of time, I conclude by thanking Professor Bhanawat and the members of the Writer Reservoir is one of the best and the welcoming step they have taken and conducting this workshop. And perhaps I'm sure the outcome of this conference could be documented, and it could be published in Communication Today, and also it could be submitted to Ministry of Information Broadcasting or different layers of the state level public relation divisions, authorities and all, so that every stakeholder should know and aware. And those participant in a weekend, that to a Sunday, also taking time and participating, I compliment from my core of the heart to each one of them. My fellow members of the panel discussion, very distinguished, very knowledgeable, and I salute to each one of them, because each one of them spoken to whomsoever I able to heard and all. Very good points, very good thing. Such platforms must be created very often, so that at least we should engage. We should have a dialogue, because dialogue is the solution. No comments, rather than we should reciprocate and dialogue, because communication is a two-way process. So with these words, thank you so much, and wishing my best wishes to all of you. Thank you. Jai Hind.
Thank you very much, Pati sir. It was really a pleasure to listen to you, and I hope that after the conference we could come up and conceptualize such such a platform where we can introduce such free workshops and other digital literacy programs, not for the students, but also for the teachers as well as for common citizens, which is the need of the hour. Thank you very, very much for giving your opinion on it. Thank you so much, sir. Not last but not the least, Professor Manish Verma. So I would like to invite you in the panel, and my question to you is, uh, Professor Manish, are you there?
Yeah, very much.
Hi, hello, sir. How are you?
I'm good, thank you. Yeah.
So my question to you is that do you think that current digital initiatives are truly inclusive? And who is being left behind? I mean, I will come back to the theme. Who is left behind? Is it rural population, marginalized communities, older generations? Who are the people whom we are leaving behind, and what we can do to bridge this gap?
Okay. Firstly, respected Bhanawat, it's been a pleasure to see you all today. And Bhanawat has been the pillar of media education in India, and he has been mentoring different generations. And to see another group coming under his guidance, Writers Reservoir, it's a great sign. And this is a reflection of his ethos in terms of guiding new generations of media educators, and this is a wonderful initiative. My fellow panelist, Professor Rakesh ji, Professor Harish, who has just left, and Professor Jyoti. So all of them have spoken about this issue, and they're very relevant points. Professor Rakesh ji talked about very recent elections in Australia and how Australian government are trying to regulate social media with reference to use by children. And then Professor Harish talked about various aspects of technology and how it has changed our lives. In his very elaborative discussion by Professor Jyoti, he tried to emphasize on the need for media literacy. And in my argument, I will try to stitch it around some basic fundamental theory. I'm a great fan of one of the most respected scientist of 20th century, Marshall McLuhan, and he was somebody who could see future. He could see that how the power of medium will transform the way we consume our content. And as a media educator and scholar, I will try to create my argument within the framework of this communication studies. I'm going to start by saying his very famous quote, which is, "Medium is the message." So at that time, he did not mean that content did not matter, but he was talking in terms of the form through which we communicate changes the nature of human interaction. Today, when we are talking about all these issues in terms of AI and digital, mediums are apps, we have algorithms, and their messages is often of speed, scale, and disruption. And today, I think it's a very pertinent platform to ask this question: what exactly we are disrupting, and whom we are leaving behind or overlooking. So in terms of digital access, it is a very double-edged sword. It's like a double-edged sword. We can see that it has been a democratizer and it has helped a lot of people at large. But we can see some examples, like for example, in sub-Saharan Africa, mobile apps like iCow, it has helped them monitor livestock and weather. When we talk about eSanjeevani, which is a platform by Government of India, and which can connect doctors with telehealth platforms. In areas like Middle East, Syria, where students are accessing education through WhatsApp and YouTube-based lessons, so it's a kind of a democratizer. But at the same time, we need to look at a very uncomfortable truth. We need to find out that are we designing the solution only for the connected poor? What about the people who are not connected, people who are disconnected? Let's take an example of education during COVID-19 pandemic. There were platforms like Google and a lot of ad tech companies which bloomed. And as per the UNESCO report, 1 in the 3 school children worldwide, roughly 463 million, were able to were unable to access, were not able to access, sorry. So due to lack of connectivity and devices, though there are a lot of connectivity all over the world, we were utilizing Teams, Google, and other ad tech platforms, but there were still places around the world where students were not able to access because there was no technology at that point. In places like Yemen or in India also, we can think of rural areas in UP, Bihar. Digital schooling is still an abstraction, not a solution. So in this context, Marshall McLuhan is talking about it's not just what we teach online, but how we structure digital access that determines the inclusion. So the medium, whether it's a smartphone or a desktop or a shared TV, it redefines your experience. So in terms of creating these systems, the question is that are we building global village, or in a way we are creating a digital class system? Marshall McLuhan said and gave this concept of global village, which envisions the electronic media would bring humanity closer. That was the vision. But instead of one global village, we built gated communities of digital privileged. So a lot of people have the privilege, but still there are a lot of people who don't have access to that. Let's give an example. For example, in Europe, Estonia, every citizen has a digital ID. They can vote online and access nearly every public service through one platform. But on the other side of the spectrum, in Africa, in Nigeria, despite growing smartphone penetration to almost 42% of the population, still remains offline, especially women, adults, and the rural population. Even with digital access exists, algorithm has bias to marginalize people. For example, there's a case of Apple's credit card, which found that to offer significantly lower credit limits to women than to men with similar profiles. Even if the algorithm was supposedly gender neutral, what's the takeaway? The medium, as we talked about AI in this case, automatically encodes the value of those who creates it. Okay, and if unchecked, it can create biases. So when we think of digital public square, who has the voices? So again, referring back to McLuhan, he argues that new media reshapes how societies think. How importantly, who gets heard. For example, take X or Twitter. It has revolutionized movements like Me Too, Black Lives Matter, climate activism. But same platform is hostile for other issues like female journalists, LGBTQ activists, indigenous voices who face algorithm blind trolling, hate speeches, and even shadow banning. It's still happening. If you look at India, I think we have Dalit activist who has reported caste-based abuse online, which has not been moderated because the platform algorithm don't understand the cultural context. Similarly, in Myanmar, Facebook's failure to moderate hate speech in local languages contributed to real-world violence against Rohingya community. So the message, so the medium is not neutral. Okay, so referring back to McLuhan, we are trying to focus on the medium itself. So the medium is not neutral. It shapes the nature of discourse. It amplifies certain voices and it silences others. And that is the real message. When we think of human values and we think of how technology is affecting human values, there's a concept, an idea of auto amputation, where extending one senses leads to neglect of another. We are trying to extend our cognitive capacity by using generative AI like ChatGPT and search engines, but at the cost of our own empathy, patience, and reflective thinking. When healthcare chatbots can deliver mental health advice at scale, are we also replacing human presence that someone needs? Like, you can have a chatbot telling you what you need to do during a mental health episodes, but it cannot replace a human touch. There has been cases in America where they have used AI in a criminal system, and it created biases against African Americans, and they put black defendants at higher risk as compared to white defendants. So we have to ask, are we building systems that optimize efficiencies but compromises justice? So new media can numb us. That's the problem. And this has been raised by decades ago by Marshall McLuhan. As we outsource more to technology, we risk forgetting the core human values that once guided our interaction. So our interactions were based on human values. So now we need to think that, are we designing for inclusions or data extraction? So there, one of my fellow panelists talked about surveillance. So in the age of all these IT companies, Google, Facebook, digital transformation has given rise to surveillance capitalism. So when these free apps harvest user data for the targeted ads, or they're using it for behavior prediction, who is really benefiting from it? Let's say example of Google, because we're using Google. Google Classroom, it offered free tools to educators worldwide, and it also collects massive data amounts of student data. So Google Classroom, though it's free, but it is collecting data of students from all over the world, prompting data protection investigations in countries like Netherlands and Germany. So European countries have taken cognizance of this, and they have fined a lot of IT companies in that context. Look at the trends of digital ID system in welfare distribution. In India, as all of us have Aadhaar system, and which has digitalized welfare access, but also led to exclusion errors when biometric mismatches denied food rations to elderly citizens. So if there are biometric mismatches, it can create problems. So within the framework of Marshall McLuhan, we need to ask, is it convenience of the medium worth compromising the human dignity? So what can we do from here? Okay, I think of possible 3 shifts. The first one is efficiency to empathy. We must ask not just how fast we can scale at this, but how well does it meet the human needs? There has been cases in Africa, for example, in Rwanda, telemedicine program use community health workers as digital liaison, blending tech with trust. So you need to have a human intervention along with the technology. The second is from access to agency. Providing devices or internet is not enough. Digital literacy, as my fellow speakers have already highlighted, multilingual interface, and design for disability are critical. So how we should not leave behind people who are not like us, who are disabled, and we need to look at that. And in this, I must congratulate India's effort. India has used Saksham portal, which provides screen reading friendly government content for visually impaired. This is an example in the right direction. This is what we need to do. The third, the surveillance to stewardship. let's ensure the data collected through all these digital systems is used transparently and it is stored ethically and never weaponized against the vulnerable. So in my conclusion, I would say that let's not just go digital, let's go a little deeper. Again, coming back to what Marshall McLuhan was talking about, he highlighted the importance of the medium by saying that we shape our tools and then thereafter our tools shape us. Let's shape these tools that include voiceless, protect the vulnerable, and reflect the plurality of human values. So digital transformation is not just a finishing line, it's just a crossroad. And the path we choose now will determine not just how connected our future is, but how humane the future is. So I would like to end with this, but I must congratulate the conference team, the communication today, headed by Honorable Bhanawat and Writers Reservoir. Thank you to all my fellow panelists, seniors who supported this initiative. A lot of people have joined this initiative, and I must thank them. All the people in the conference team, especially Dr. Asta, for making me part of this event. I'm very, very proud to see Dr. Asta's growth in the last few years. And I feel very proud to say that I was a faculty and she was my student. And I feel so happy to see her progress. And I wish all the members of this conference all the best. Thank you very much. Have a great day.
Thank you. Thank you very, very much, Professor Manish. It actually was very deep. And when you said we must go deeper, I could understand the crux of your talk by coming to the conclusion that we shape our tools and let's not tools shape us. And this is just a crossroad, and we have to decide where we have to go with this technology. That indeed was a wonderful session by you, and Marshall McLuhan is a great communication scientist, and we all have started our academic journey with him. And thanks for bringing him back and connecting this digital technology essence with his theories. That was really a very nice talk you have presented. And the different examples of different countries which you quoted were quite enough to make us understand that we are, as a world, we are doing a lot to bring these marginalized communities or the different generation or these tribes or these unreached people to the mainstream. And like e-Sanjeevani, India Saksham portal, what Indian government, what India is doing to bring these people who are left behind to bring forth is something very essential to understand. And much awareness and much communication is needed, because many of us still do not know that who are we leaving behind and what people are doing to bring them forth. So that was really a wonderful presentation by you, and I would much like to congratulate you on your study and your presentation for this conference. Thank you very, very much. Dear all, with this, we come to the conclusion of this wonderful conference, wonderful panel, and I'm really fortunate and blessed. And thanks to Dr. Asta and Professor Sanjeev for choosing me as a moderator, because after a long, I have learned a lot many things from different, well-versed professors. And while I was quoting down, I was trying not to miss any point and jot down everything what they were telling. So thank you very much for bringing me back to the class, and I hope that I will, and we all those who have attended this conference will take it forward and will widen our knowledge, wisdom, and will do something good in bringing digital literacy as I'll start with Professor Rakesh. He said that if how much constraint should be done on technology, how much talk should be done on technology, and how much vigilant we have to be with the uses of technology, and how well it is improving our learning. And then he touched some behavioral issues, mental health, एंड देन प्रोफेसर हरीश ऑफ कोर्स, जिन्होंने बहुत सारी बातें, बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस उठाए, निजीकरण पर बात करी, मेंटल हेल्थ पर बात करी, ओपिनियन पर बात करी, हाउ वी आर फ्रेमिंग द ओपिनियन. And then Professor DJ Pati, again a delightful session he took, and then he proposed, and then he motivated us all to carry on this phenomena of digital literacy to all, as a teacher, as who belong to the field of journalism, and not only media professionals but common people also should be aware as to how well they can use this digital literacy as a tool and bring changes in the world. And last but not the least, Professor Manish, who actually talked, who touched the soul and said that medium is the message, and we are on the crossword and we must decide what path we should follow. So, with this, I would like to thank all of you for joining us in this conference, and I would like to congratulate Reservoir's writers also for holding this conference and bringing us all together and having a deep discussion on such a beautiful topic where we could actually bring the soul of Bharat and think of which ये क्या है हमारा विश्व गुरु हम कैसे बन सकते हैं, कैसे हम सबको साथ ला सकते हैं. Thank you very very much. Over to you, Dr. Astha. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Harish sir, Rakesh sir, Pati sir, Manish sir, and Sheel ma'am for such an enlightful panel discussion. The exchange of ideas, diverse perspective, and meaningful dialogues truly enriched our understanding. And I deeply appreciate the thoughtful contributions and the collaborative spirit that made the session both engaging and enlightening. I would like to felicitate all of you. I'm just sharing. So this is a token of love and gratitude to all of you, to Harish sir, to Rakesh Goswami sir, DJ Pati sir, Manish Verma sir, Sheel ma'am. Thank you so much. Now I would like to invite Dr. Aditi Parikh, Organizing Secretary of the conference, to deliver the vote of thanks.
Namaskar, respected dignitaries, esteemed panelists, and dear participants. As we conclude the panel discussion segment of our conference this morning, it is with immense gratitude that I extend heartfelt thanks to everyone who contributed to the success of this intellectually stimulating session. Our sincere appreciation goes to the distinguished panelists whose thought leadership and rich perspectives enriched our understanding of today's digital dynamics. Professor Harish Kumar, for profound reflections on the evolution of journalism and digital convergence in academic ecosystems. Professor Rakesh Goswami, for drawing attention to the global communication landscape and the role of education and advisory frameworks in shaping it. Professor DJ Pati, for his clear-eyed insights on the responsibilities of journalism. Professor Manish Verma, for invoking Marshall McLuhan's The Medium is the Message to examine how digital technology both democratizes access and deepens the digital divide, questioning whether we are forming a global village or reinforcing a digital class system. Professor Sheel Tripathi, for successfully moderating the panel discussion. We are truly grateful for your time, scholarly contributions, and for engaging so meaningfully with the conference theme. Your words have left a lasting impact on our audience of scholars, educators, and practitioners from across the globe. Special thanks to our Chief Patron, Professor Sanjeev Bhanawat, for his continued guidance and inspiring theme presentation, and to our Organizing Secretary, Dr. Asta Saxena, for orchestrating the session with precision and grace. To all attendees, thank you for your active participation. As we move forward into the next phase of our conference, we carry with us the insights and ideas shared in today's discussion. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Aditi. Now I request everyone to kindly turn on their camera so that we can have a group photograph. Everyone is requested to kindly turn on their camera. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you, Bhanawat sir. Thank you, Manish sir, Sheel ma'am, Rakesh sir, Pati sir, Harish sir, who is not here. I think she has left. सर आप कुछ बोल रहे हैं भानवत सर, आप अनम्यूट करिए.
Next session 11:30.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So can we leave?
Sure, ma'am. Thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you.